So recently you said the Ultimate Warrior, he's a showman, not a professional. Have people given you crap over that Ultimate Warrior comment? You kind of has this happened to you today?
No, literally not.
Oh, I'm like, really? Like, listen, there's a different time and era for everything, but
So somebody at work came up to me and went like, "Hey, that was funny. It's like, did you mean that?" They're like, "Yeah, of course I mean it."
yeah.
Uh, on the difficult side, yeah, Jim was tough. I mean, Warrior. Uh, but I think that had a lot of things to do. I have a lot of empathy for him, and even at the time where this guy came out of nowhere. Really, I mean, it's not like he hadn't wrestled before, but that amount of fame that he took, and he was an outsider at the time. That's like I mentioned how it was a different world, whether you were on one side or the other, and he certainly didn't help himself as far as being defiant in many ways, and he was very stiff working, and he paid the price for that, dearly. But there were times, where we'd be at some kind of a promotion where he would be signing pictures, and he would sign pictures and never even look up. He'd just like be flipping the pictures. I'd be looking like this guy, like, what the hell, dude? But then the next time he would be on a knee with a kid for 20 minutes talking to this kid. So whether it was the stuff he was doing or whatever, but there was kind of two sides to him and I had a lot of conversations with him, backstage, because he didn't really hang out in the main areas with the guys or anything like that. So, for him, I think that it was just too much. He didn't have good people around him advising him. You always got the people in his ear going like, "What are you putting up with that? And you got this, you got it over them. They got, and who knows? I wasn't part of that, but yeah, but he could be tough. That's for sure. I mean, you go into those interviews thinking, everybody's a professional here. And I knew what was going to go on, and somebody's, and I was kind of you didn't really, we weren't supposed to touch me. I was the credible journalist, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
But sometimes it went off the rails, that's how it went. And with Jim, you didn't know. And a lot of times I remember after those interviews, I'd be going, "What did this say?" And people ate it up. I'm like,
they did. I ate it up.
What that was about. Yeah. The third aliens visiting from wherever. And,
yes.
And I think I think he's trying to play off, because Hulk, one of the great things I remember Hulk telling me early on about his interviews. And he said, you notice I don't talk about wrestling when I do it, necessarily. There's always, going down the Pacific Coast Highway, brother, and on my Harley, and bring it all back into the thing. But that's what made it so entertaining. I think maybe Jim kind of took a page from that, but it was like, okay, yeah, but it worked, right?
Yeah, I don't like people who don't respect me. When they first met me, they were cool, and then they got the big head and whatnot, and didn't respect the business, didn't pay the dues that I paid, didn't care about others. Kind of a loudmouth on some of these YouTube things I see. I have to shut it off. And how dare you knock Hulk Hogan? Who in the hell are you compared to Hulk Hogan?
I know. For a couple of years, you were popular.
What's that?
It's like for a couple of years, Ultimate Warrior was the big thing, but Hulk Hogan his longevity can prove the track record.
And Hulk could do way more than him as far as wrestling. You should watch some old films of Hulk Hogan in Japan.
Oh, I've seen him. He's a good wrestler.
Yeah. Basically, when the Warriors music stops, so does the match. It's time to go back through the curtain, back home. Yeah. So, and I'm calling it like it is, and I don't like to knock the people that are past. I mean, but yeah, just some of his outrages. I've been in diners and gyms and so forth. And and I've seen people get hurt, and he don't really care. When I first met him and he was the Dingo Warrior, I was like second match with him at the Keel in St. Louis. He was a different guy then, but whatever. I don't like being disrespected, because I don't do that to people. And I think I deserve the respect. I think these people don't want to do that because maybe they're jealous of me. I don't know. I'm not out to prove myself as the savior. This the way I conduct business and the way I take care of myself is a way of life. That's how it works with me. That's how true athletes train.
Mhm.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah. You don't hear many good stories about Ultimate Warrior. Ever.
No. And maybe some of these guys are afraid, so they baby face the interview. Believe me, if I'm in a hotel room or if I'm in a rent-a-car or on the plane, I'm going to say 8 out of 10 are burying him, especially guys that could work and could really wrestle and paid their dues more so.
Agreed.
I think he disrespected the wrestling business. And he was a smartened up bodybuilder. And I looked at him and I've seen bodybuilders. Well, maybe you need to do more. I don't know. Because I think back in the day in his prime, Batista blew him away.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
From his ability, his ring entrance, his look.
He was a total ass.
Yeah.
Total ass. No, he does what he wants to do. He'd yell and scream, stomp his feet, behave like a 10-year-old.
Teamed up with Ultimate Warrior,
Uh-huh.
Blue Blazer, who was Owen Hart, who passed away, unfortunately, Jim Brunzell, and Bruce the Barber Beefcake against the Honky Tonk Man, Greg Valentine, Ron Bass, Bad News Brown, and Danny Davis. What a ragtag crew of incredible talents there. And everyone has an Ultimate Warrior story. So what is your Ultimate Warrior story? Because everyone either has a great experience or a bad experience. What was yours?
Oh gosh. Well, I met Jim when he first, come in up there. Now, I'd come in from Louisiana. He had left Louisiana before I got there, but Sting was still there. So I worked with Sting and Rick Steiner all the time while I was in Louisiana. When I got to New York, I'm working for Vince. Warrior comes up a little bit after I get there. But his body was like, wow, or both, it was, he had that, okay. But his in-ring work and I guess people say his interviews still just weren't up to par. So anyway, they put him on the road. We traveled together for the first almost 2 years before they put him on TV. I don't remember how long it was, but we made all our road trips together and stuff like that because nobody else had traveled with him. When you're all going through the airports, but we'd always get rental cars. Anyway, so we were cool with each other. And he was a whole lot different then when he was just a warrior than when he became the Ultimate Warrior.
Mm-hmm.
That he came in as the Dingo Warrior, but they didn't like Dingo. So then he became the Warrior, and he was that for all this time. So he did there was a commercial on TV, Bubblicious commercial about the Ultimate Bubble. And he did a Bubblicious commercial during interviews. He called himself the Ultimate Warrior. And Vince said, I like that. Let's go with it. And that's how he got his name. But anyway, so we traveled together. He liked my boots, my wrestling boots. And Austin Hall Boot Company was in El Paso, Texas. So he wanted to go to the Austin Hall Boot Company and meet my bootmaker. And so I'm like, okay. When we get to El Paso, he goes to baggage claim. I don't know what's happening. I go rent the car, and I go rent the car, come back to the airport, and I pull up. Here comes Warrior out. The 2 old Mexican officers, cops are with him too. Okay. What had happened inside was when we got off the plane, you know how the fans are, they got the VHS cameras.
Yeah.
Right? You had the big shoulder mount thing. Well, Jim didn't like nobody taking pictures of him or filming him if he didn't have his makeup on, So he tells the guy that. And the guy put the camera down. Well, a few minutes later, he goes back to filming all the boys again, getting their luggage and stuff. And then from all I know, I didn't see nothing, but I heard that the VHS camera was winding up and left on the luggage carousel, broken up. And, and I guess a whole lot of F-bombs were dropped on the inside, blah, blah, blah. So Warrior comes huffing out with those great big bags of his, And I pop the trunk and I'm standing and he throws the first bag in the trunk and lands great. He goes to throw the second one in and it hits the lip of the trunk and just falls on the ground. Right. And he grabs a bumper in the car and we had I think it was a Sable or something, whatever those kind of cars were, a Taurus. Taurus. So he grabs the bumper and he starts going up and down with it. And then he starts bouncing the tires up off the ground. The tires are coming off the ground. And the two cops look at me and they said, "We're glad you got this, buddy. We're going back inside." So I get him in the car and I'm driving. Like, what is wrong with you? So he tells me what happened inside. I said, "Dude, there ain't no way I am taking you to my bootmaker like this. You're not going to wake out, no, because having a pair of Austin Hall boots, not everybody had them.
Right.
I mean? So I said, before you go to the bootmaker, you're smoking with me. So I pulled a joint out, lit it up, and made him smoke 2 joints with me. Oh, we rode around El Paso. Then we went and he met my bookmaker and stuff. So we get to the matches that night and we're in El Paso. Everybody had to be there early. And because the news crew wanted to interview somebody. And all the boys already knew, because who was getting the push and everything else. So we knew that, it was going to be the Rougeaus doing the news interview. And we're sitting, you know how boys want to be boys and stuff. Anyway, so I go up to Jock and Raymond, and I said, Mexico's just right across the river there. It'd be really cool if you and Raymond could say a little Spanish. And he goes, "Sam, we are French Canadians. We do not know any Spanish." And I said, "I know a little bit." And I do know, like, Cállate la boca, shut up your mouth. So if you think like, Que Paso, como estás, and nada, and then this other one is Mi hermano es Joto. So that? I teach them that,
Yeah.
And so I said at the end of the interview, throw your arms up in the air and yell, "Mi hermano es Joto." So at the end of the interview, the news guy's standing there, and Jacques throws the arm in the air, "Mi hermano es Joto," with a big smile, and Raymond does the same thing, "Mi hermano es Joto," and the sportscaster, he died laughing. He fell to his knees. I guess Mi hermano, my brother, is. There were a lot of pink signs that night.
You can say whatever you want to say. It's not censored.
Oh, no. It just, it's kind of like my brother's really happy.
Mm-hmm.
My brother's really happy. My brother's really happy. I don't want to offend any LGBTQ.
You're not going to offend someone. It's a joke from 40 or 30 years ago. I think you didn't say it. Someone else said it.
Yeah, they did. Well, so anyway, later that night, now we're in now the matches. So Chief Jay Strongbow was the road agent, and because WCW was doing the bunkhouse battle royals, WWF did the bunkhouse battle royals too. So we're in El Paso, Texas. Now, who better to have all the stuff to wrestle in a bunkhouse battle royal? I got all the stuff: chaps, boots, spurs if I need them, bull horns. I got it all, right? No, they put me on 4th and then put the bunkhouse battle royal right after me, 5th. So I got time to work 15 minutes with Danny Davis and then walk through the dressing room and get a drink of water and turn around and walk back out for a battle royal. I can't suit up or nothing, I'm like, and I'm the guy. So I guess I don't know. One of my ribs probably got me guys, they weren't really after me, but they were after me, sort of. Because I had made some remarks on battle roles about guys trying to get you, before. So anyway, so I wrestled with Danny Davis. So I get back to the dressing room. And the dressing rooms there were different. But me and Warrior were in a dressing room by ourselves. Little doorway and like a table and lights on the mirrors and then the bathroom there. So as soon as I walk in, I grab something to drink and I'm drinking, and he grabs his bottle of baby oil and he's hosing me down. And I was like, "What are you doing, dude?" Because I didn't like the I don't want to be, you can't do anything to anybody. You can't hold them.
Yeah.
But he's hosing me down. He said, "Man," he said, "they're going to get you tonight." He said, "All up are talking. They're after you." Really? So, boy, as soon as we got in the battle royal and everything, here comes Demolition. Here comes everybody's after me. And I'm just, sliding out of a grease pig, running through everything. Nobody could do nothing. And I couldn't let it go at that neither. After I finally got eliminated out of the back battle royal, they're all get back to the back. And I've been putting in their faces, "Look at you, big guys. Can't handle." I'm like, oh, I was being real obnoxious and assholeish.
Yeah.
But I was just like, hey man, you don't get to strut every day. So the times you can, make sure you do a good job.
Of course.
Seriously.
That's so funny. A greased up little pig.
So a couple of nights later, we're in Wichita Falls. Same thing, bunkhouse battle royal in that one. Same thing, me, and then the bunkhouse battle royal again. Well, now I know they're all after me. So I come back and sure enough, we're not hiding in no dressing room. He's hosing me down. I don't care if people see me. Come on. So they're hosing me down. Well, Mr. Fuji was sitting there and
Oh no.
he saw that going on. So we get in the ring and the battle royal starts. And boy, everybody's after me, and Warrior's standing over there with his back to the rope. Who will mess with the Ultimate Warrior, And everybody's kind of staying away. Fuji was on his knees on the ring apron behind him, and he tied his strings to the top rope. He won the match.
Oh yeah, if you can't fall out of the ring.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Mr. Fuji.